Hello everyone, welcome to my place. It's raining again. When you think you're done making videos, in one day, Watchtower has to help you not to take a break. The intelligence of these talks is a conspiracy to make you believe that everything outside the doors of the kingdom halls is total evil, corrupt, misguided information to lure you in to a dangerous cult. And that's what I said, a dangerous cult. We have more evidence each day, each year. Watchtower is doing the best to shut us up, and we refuse to roll over in our graves. The reason why we are a threat to every single Jehovah Witness, because we are trying to stop them from brainwashing more innocent people into this dangerous cult that many of us has walked away, and many has lost their families and loved ones. But when you have a talk trying to convince you to stay in the boundaries of Jehovah's Witnesses religion, you're almost safe. But you're going to hear him talk about terrorism, how it's going around killing people. What you're going to hear is basically Jehovah's Witnesses religion. So this talk, where I look at it, is pointing at you Jehovah's Witnesses, because many is in prison for murdering people and destroying children's lives. When you take it upon yourself, elders, to use your superpower influence and control every member in the kingdom halls to obey you, or you'll make their lives miserable hell, because you have that power. So let's get into this and we'll take it from there.
Run, hide, tell. This is the title of a leaflet that was distributed in UK. It was used as an instructional video for the citizens to be able to handle when a terrorist attack. They were supposed to run to a place of safety if they had a chance. They were supposed to hide and turn off their phones, put their phones on vibrate, so that there's no distraction or the terrorists may not find them. And if they had an ability to, they were supposed to call the police. In the UK, they're...
What about the victims in the kingdom hall? You tell them not to run. You tell them not to hide. To face 3 elders, and a person is the persecutor or the pedophile. Could be one of the elders in the back room. And you tell them not to call the police. And this talk should be given about your religion, Jehovah's Witnesses. Not outside the doors of your kingdom halls, inside your doors of your kingdom halls. Let's continue.
Number is 999. Here is 911. So then they were supposed to call. So this film was delivered around, and it's actually used in instructional videos for the police who deals with terrorism in the UK. So friends, this is the world we live in. We're having videos to learn how to protect ourselves from terrorism.
But you don't have these films protect yourselves inside your religion. Especially when you got a husband beating on his wife and elders telling her it's her fault because she's not giving him enough sex. It's her fault that she has to get up real early in the morning to cook him breakfast because he's hungry, but he can't get a small snack till she gets up while they awake to make breakfast. Or he gets mad and he take a hot iron and burn her leg. And that person's walking around still have that mark. Where's the love in the kingdom hall, Mr. Elder? But you point out evil on outside the doors, but not the pure evil inside the kingdom hall?
Today's world is just filled with a lot of anxiety and fear. There's wars, there's frustration. On a personal scale, there's so much things that people have to worry about. The governments, they make promises and promises so that they can get elected. They talk about their own personal agenda and personal interests. But what do we see? Is there any success? There's no success.
And there is no success in the kingdom halls or up there with the governing body. When Jeffrey Jackson had a chance in Australia court, when he admitted that they have problems in their organization, that is why we are here today. Excuse me, if this guy knew they have problems in their organization about child molesters, they would already solve the problem if this is God's organization to make it clean, so there would be no courts, news, anything bad that corrupts the name of Jehovah. He had a chance to go back to the other 6 members and said, this is enough is enough. We're going to fix this one way or another. We're going to have the parents, children, to prosecute all these elders and members for all the crime they have done. They don't want to do that because they know it would be hard to replace elders. Because not everybody wants to be an elder to have endless nights with the family because you got to go visit everybody, stick your nose in someone else's bedroom, and trying to be a police officer to fix a matter between a husband beating the wives or molesting their own children. That should be in the hands of the police, not by elders that has no experience except one experience, bullying people and corrupt and destroy innocent people's lives. Let's continue.
So, can we really expect imperfect humans to design or create a new world? Can we expect these from them, from our governments? Well,
Watchtower headquarters think they can make a new world of pedophiles, wife beaters, and men going out committing fornication, adultery, because the wife don't feel like having sex because she's being abused by her husband. Oh yeah, this is a wonderful world that Jehovah's Witnesses want you to be one of their members.
History shows that they cannot, because human rulers, they change. They have one rulership after another rulership, and they have their own personal agenda. Humans have ruled for thousands and thousands of years.
What about the governing body when they was called board of directors over 100 years ago? Did any of them change to make this religion could have been good, could have been what people would want to come to God's organization, true peace, happiness? None of them made it. It still has the same foundation from day one. Pure evil. Let's continue.
With so many promises, thousands of promises, yet they cannot keep these promises because all these promises are just there so that he can get elected. On March 4th, 1801, Thomas Jefferson, in his inaugural address, he quoted the Bible, and he said this: "Sometimes it is said that man cannot be trusted with the government of himself. Can he then be trusted?"
Interesting. Man can't be trusted a governing body? Cannot be trusted? Government body? Isn't that the title of those 7 men? Jehovah's Witnesses? Thank you, Thomas Jefferson.
With the government of others? It's Thomas Jefferson saying that. He says, "Or have we found angels?"
Well, I might have said the name wrong for the president. I'm just getting in the wine of this video.
"The form of men to govern him." And he says, "Let history answer these questions." Well, what does history show? What about all the wars? So there have been so many wars. World War II, approximately 62 million people dead. World War I, 15 million dead. The Korean War.
Here's the thing that a bunch of people kept saying the same thing. World War I, and you just heard what he said, was nothing compared to World War II. So why would Christ pick 1914 when World War II had more killing than World War I? Could be a possibility that World War I, not the correct year for Jehovah's Witnesses theology of 607 to 1914, maybe, just maybe, 607 is not the true date when Jerusalem was destroyed, when it's actually the true date that Nebuchadnezzar's father was still alive and he died 2 years later in 605. Could Watchtower be way off? You know, hey, I did my research.
3 million dead. The 2003 Iraq War, 168,000 people lost their lives. The 91 Gulf War, 100,000. In 1980, Iran-Iraq War, approximately 1 million dead, and the list goes on and on and on. It said in 2014 there were about 10 wars going on and 8 serious armed conflicts going on at the same time. What about terrorism? Well, the most obvious form of terrorism was what was affected here in New York on September 11th, where 2,986 people lost their lives at the World Trade Center. So the recent attacks also show that you see the ISIS, Boko Haram, they're terrorizing governments today. And I'm sure you may have seen the pictures of the kids who were attacked by the nerve gas in Syria. So,
yes, those was awful events. But he has been misguided by his own religion that has done evil to a lot of people, murdering innocent people, not allowed them to have blood transfusion. Now, I did have a Jehovah Witness or somebody said, well, my parents died because of blood. Well, if they didn't have the blood, they would have died sooner. So the blood kept them alive to a certain point, unless there was bad blood. And since I have no evidence and facts of this person's story, yeah, I can't tell you what was in the blood, or if there was anything was in the blood that killed this person. But I do know my mom had a bleeding ulcer, and she had a lot of blood coming out of her, so they had to give her blood. Fortunately, she was not a Jehovah's Witness, and she's still alive, far I know. Since I have no communication with my family, I have no idea. So let's continue.
Horrible sight. And this is what man's government is doing. It was said that it's the government of Syria that actually put that nerve gas to affect those poor kids. How about animals extinction? So currently in the world, there are about 8,000 plant species and over 7,000 animal species that are threatened with extinction. The primary causes of these extinctions are habitat destruction. And most of these habitats is caused because of commercial exploitation. There's damage everywhere. I just recently learned that actually the honeybees are also part of the endangered species. So, you know, if you were cleaning your backyard and you got stung by a honeybee, you can't kill it. You just have to let it keep biting you or run.
First of all, this guy has no freaking clue what he's talking about the bees. One, a bee only can sting you one time. Now, this is supposed to be Jehovah's organization, okay? You can find this facts out for yourself. When a bumblebee loses its stinger in a person, they go off and they die. Proven fact. They can't come back and keep stinging you. Now, if you're talking about a wasp or hornets, oh yeah, they will sting and sting and sting you. They don't lose their stingers. Because how I know? Because my stepdad had so many stingers in him from the bumblebees. Attacked him. So how can a bumblebee keep stinging if they lose the stinger inside your skin? They can't hurt you. They can probably get on your arm and bite you, but biting and stinging is two different things, people. So he has wrong information, and that shows how ignorant these elders are or the Watchtower who puts this talk together. Unbelievable.
Hide and tell, right? So there's all of this. They're becoming extinct because, again, what man has been doing to the planet. What about disease? Infectious disease that used to kill millions of people. Medicine that made a lot of strides today. They have too many cures for different things, but what do we see? We see a lot of people still dying. Today, the leading cause of death in the U.S. is heart disease, with over 610,000 deaths. The second leading cause is cancer, with 584,000 deaths. In most recent months, the Ebola virus has claimed over 2,000 people. And again, the list just keeps going on and on. So we've established the fact that government cannot solve our problem. So where do we turn to? Who do we look up to? Well, let's read of a promise that was made about 1,900 years ago, as in the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 13. Would you like to turn there with me? 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 13. It says, "For there are new heavens and a new earth that we are waiting according to his promise. And in these, righteousness is to dwell." Yeah.
I'm going to stop it right there. First off, if you join Jehovah Witnesses religion, you will not see the new kingdom. You will not inherit the earth. You will not see your loved ones being resurrected after the 1,000 years. Because you won't be there. Because it says in the Bible, all false religion will be destroyed. So there is no hope in a destructive cult. There is no hope in this false religion. Now, I'm not a bitter person. I'm not a lying person. That is your governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. Those faithful? No. The wicked, unfaithful servants that's worshiping Satan the devil. That is your organization, guided by those 7 men. If they had anything inside their hearts, it's still part human, still have a flesh of a pure heart, they would stop this madness, educate the witnesses to go to the real truth and get out of the false truth. So that's all I'm going to say for right now. And thank you for supporting me, encouraging me to keep making these videos. Because without y'all, it's just like someone out in the space or in a desert. Nobody there to hear you. So thank you very much. Y'all have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.